Well, good morning everybody. Today's movement training is going to be about rotation of the spine, the whole spine, in side lying. I'll just get straight into it. Lie down on the floor with a pillow just enough to give you support for your head and on your side. Bring your knees and hips to a 90-degree angle or square up, and both arms and hands straight out in front, one on top of the other. Now, you will lift the top hand in this exercise, and as you're doing this, follow your hand with your eyes. And we'll do this in a slow motion speed. You're following and turning your head. Now, as soon as you get to some form of resistance, certainly any pain, you're going to stop and reverse. So we'll do that again, and just keep repeating at this pace. I feel a little twinge somewhere around about my shoulder blade, a little bit of resistance somewhere through the neck, and follow back and follow with your eyes and your head on the way back. 2. Have the movement as smooth and steady as you can at that speed. And do up to 20 of these. Even after doing a few, I notice some release and some ease. That may mean that there was a little bit of snagging going on in the joints, especially as, due to age, there may be some degeneration in the cartilages and some tackiness develop overnight as I'm resting for many hours. Remember not to push anything. Be very, very aware of anything when it starts to be resistant. And be happy with the movement going just so far. As you're repeating the movements, make sure you take your awareness to everything that is actually moving. Your eyes, your skull on the pillow, and each joint. See if you can feel each segment coming from the base of your skull right down through your spine. What can you feel in that movement? What can you distinguish at each level? And also notice what you can't distinguish. Where are the blank spots in your awareness of your spine? Even as you're doing the movement better, are there still some blank spots in your awareness? draw your attention to the blank spots. That just points the perceptual system of your brain to that something is probably happening there, and see if that can draw a little bit of sensory input from that part of the spine to the perceptual part of the brain. It's a simplistic way of thinking about it. And it may be that some of that blankness is where the movement itself is not distinguished one vertebra from another. And so the motor system of the brain can also come into action there and activate muscles, release muscles, and as that occurs you may become aware of movement occurring where it was previously a kind of blank. So two things are happening there. One is the sensory system itself is not distinguishing or giving you the distinguishing input of movement that may be occurring, but also the movement may not be occurring. And paying attention to that may create movement occurring. As you lift that hand, also allow the shoulder blade to run freely. Much of this movement is being guided by the work back there. It might be that you, in paying attention to the shoulder blade, find that there are places where you tend to be not allowing it to slide across the back of the chest. Backward when you're going backward, and forward when you're coming forward again. Always notice that as new release, new activity occurs, it might occur in a jerky fashion until you retrain the control of those intricate muscles that are needed to do that. And once you've done 20 or so on one side, just roll over and do it on the other side. Squaring up, hands out on top of each other, and lifting and following. And here I actually find that it's my left lumbar spine, my old friend, creates a little twinge of resistance as I get to there. And so I'm going to allow that to dictate the limit of my movement. I'll pay a little attention there. However, once I've got the sense of where I'm going to be limited to. I scan the whole skull down to the neck, down to the upper thoracic spine, and through the scapula, and just pay attention to where the movement is occurring, where I can feel it, perceive it, and where it may not be occurring for me. It may be a bit blank, and it might occur as something not moving. Or at least not moving freely. Where is the jerkiness in the movement? It might seem that it's at the end of the arm, at the hand, but maybe it's also somewhere else in the body, in the spine and the back. If you have pain anywhere, check in with yourself about whether the anticipation of the pain creates blockages in other parts of your body and your movement. Are there tensing up happening in places? Have a look. Put your attention there. What happens if you try to just release and relax there? Do you get more pain? Or maybe you just get more movement. Whenever you're doing movement slowly, you're very unlikely to cause any negative effects where there is pain. And by that I mean, if you're becoming aware of the pain when it just starts to get uncomfortable and you're doing a slow movement, that's going to occur a long time before you make any impact on any problem that might be existing in the body, in the spinal joints, in the muscles, in the connective tissue and fascia. I'm getting a little further around. However, the left lumbar spine pain, just in from my sacroiliac joint, continues to be the ceiling limitation factor. and I'm aware of a stoppage, kind of a block of the movement when I start to get that little bit of discomfort now. Now, it's quite difficult to say what a blocked feeling means. It could be an impingement of a joint. It could still be just some muscles contracted or over tense in that part of the body. It could be deeper than that. It could be an old disc bulge that actually tends to block the movement until that's all a little warmed up and made flexible. Something like a disc bulge won't go away. It will tend to be a matter of scarring once it's healed after the incident. And it's quite likely from some of my younger adventures that there has been a disc bulge to the left of my L5-S1 joint, and that carries a little impact. Great. Well, thank you. I'll be back with more.